Hello, everyone. We're here today with Jacquelynn Puckett, Talent Acquisition Manager from Aspire Chicago, as well as Brooke Brigham, who is a Career Engagement Partner with the Office of Career Services at Southern New Hampshire University. My name is Mark Schappert. I'm an Employer Relations Partner at Southern New Hampshire University. We're going to have a short chat with Jacquelynn and get some good information and tips for the learners here. So how are you today, Jacquelynn?
I'm well, thank you. How are you?
I'm very well, thanks. Let's start off with a little bit of background information about yourself, if you would. Tell us about your background and your experience, and then of course, we want to make sure that you add your connection to Southern New Hampshire University.
Of course, of course. So my name is Jacquelynn Puckett. I was born and raised in Chicago in the outlying suburbs. I've been married for 29 years. I have 5 adult children and one fur baby. I'm a published author. I write under a pen name. I have one novel, 3 novellas, and a host of short stories available anywhere that ebooks are sold, right? I've written several screenplays, hundreds of poems, and I graduated with a Bachelor of Arts degree from Governor State University. I hold an MBA in accounting from the University of Phoenix, and I have an MA in English and creative writing from Southern New Hampshire
Yeah,
University.
yeah, yeah.
I have over 15 years of recruiting experience. I currently work as a talent acquisition manager for a nonprofit organization, Aspire of Chicago.
Wonderful. Boy, multifaceted background, English and creative writing major, who's working in talent acquisition, just goes to prove that it's not just, a linear line between study, degree, and major. You can do all kinds of things with all kinds of degrees. And you do a lot of things in addition to your job that tie into your area of interest with your studies. So that's all really cool. So what we would like is for you to share a little advice with our students about job hunting. Anything that you think, now this is a big topic, so you're not going to be able to share everything, but just a couple of pieces of advice that based on your experience, you think that could be most helpful, whether it's about resumes, using transferable skills, networking, anything that you think would be helpful.
Of course. So I get asked about this a lot. As far as resumes are concerned, I guess the one key piece of information I would say about your resume is put the important information at the top of your resume. Make sure that you're saying what you want people to know most about you first. I would say, unless you're pursuing some type of position where it requires you to be on camera, there's really no need for you to have a picture of yourself on your resume. It's not necessary. And even in those fields, I would recommend that you have a professional headshot that can accompany your resume. It doesn't have to be part of it. As for transferable skills, yes, I think people short sell themselves all the time, Mark, when they don't use what they have. There's a lot of things that can be considered as transferable skills. So I've highlighted a few that I wanted to kind of just bring up. Time management. Okay, so people put that on a resume, but do they really understand how transferable that is? When you look at time management, you can look at things such as project management, goal setting, relationship building. All of these things are important no matter where you work, right? Persuasion. So it's not just about how you negotiated your job, your salary, or anything like that, but persuasion can be a great negotiation builder for teams. So it can be incorporated in team building, it can be incorporated in morale building, it can be incorporated in any job function. I don't know of a simple job function that doesn't incorporate persuasion. Even the person at the McDonald's is asking you if you want to upsize to, another size fry. So persuasion is very important when we're looking at transferable skills. What I would say about networking is that you have to know your brand. What do you want people to know and say about you, right? So until you know that, I would say don't network. Once you figure that out, then you want to network with people who have done what you're looking to do. It's great to be in line with people that are looking to do what you want to do. Maybe somebody will get lucky and they can reach back and pull you up, or you can reach back and pull them up. But the ideal would be to talk to people who have already done it. Put yourself in line with those people. For my network, what I always have done is I've always communicated with the skip level of the job that I wanted to have. Reason being is that this person has managed the person that I want to be. So they can tell me exactly how to get there and what those skills look like. So that's what I would say as far as networking is concerned.
Wow, lots of great stuff packed in there. I like the idea to skip up a level and see what the boss is looking for.
That's right.
That's a really great idea. Our last question for you, I'm going to circle back to something you touched on, and that was time management. Time management is a really important skill, as you mentioned, but it's something that's a challenge for non-traditional learners who are holding down a full-time job, have a
Mhm.
family, and going to school. Based on your experience as a student, and I think and obviously, you've had a family and you're a working professional. Can you give us a couple of specific tips about time management that helped you and that might help students?
Yes. When I tell people that I can relate to working and going to school, I can really relate to it. I had a full-time job and two part-time jobs when I was at Southern New Hampshire University. And so time management is a big deal for me. I am from the old school, so I don't know if I'm a generation X, Y, or Z. I have no idea. But I do know that I'm a stickler for time because time is money. I don't care what you're doing or how it looks. It's money and you have to respect it, right? So I don't like to be late. And because I don't like to be late, that means that I'm always trying to prepare for worst case scenarios. I have a physical calendar as well as an electronic calendar, and I make sure that those things align. So I'll give you a perfect example. When I was in school, I wrote a lot of papers, and these papers took time. So it would take me about 3 weeks to compose a paper because I have to research it. I need to outline it. I need to write it, and then I need to edit it, and then I need to rewrite it. So it takes time to do. So once I understand what my process is for writing the paper, I had to lay it out. When I tell you, even to this day, I schedule everything down to coffee breaks. Okay. I
Wow.
literally schedule my coffee breaks because as a recruiter, as a student, writing papers, whatever it is, you want to make sure that you're making the most of your time. So when I was writing these papers, I would put all of that laid out and then I would put it into the calendar where it fit. And when the calendar said that I was supposed to be researching, it didn't matter where I was in the world. I was researching. We have these wonderful little devices called iPhones, and Galaxy phones or whatever they are, and we can go anywhere in the world we want to go with these phones. And so there's no reason why you cannot manage your time and be proficient in what you're doing. So I use those. We have these things on our wrist, these smartwatches. I've literally told Siri to create me an outline. So it can be done. And I think that if you utilize the tools that you have, that you'll be amazed at how successful and how much more you can get done when you're utilizing your time in an efficient manner. So that's my take on time management, but
Yeah.
I may not be the average person when it comes to stuff like that.
Maybe not, but you have some great insights and great advice from someone who's been there and had to do it. So, Jacquelynn, thanks so much. Really appreciate you taking some time sharing this information, and we look forward to talking to you and working with you more in the future.
Thank you for having me, Mark.